If I told you that you're just one decision away from changing your entire financial future, would you believe me? Most people drift through life hoping for a miracle. But today, we're not hoping, we're not waiting. Today, we're creating a success storm. This isn't just about money. This is about control, legacy, and living life on your terms. Get ready to dominate your financial game because the storm starts now. Step one, clarity is power. Clarity is the starting point of all financial achievement. When you're crystal clear about what you want, your brain starts working like a GPS. It searches for routes, shortcuts, and solutions. But if your destination is vague, how can you ever arrive? Most people say they want to be rich or comfortable. But what does that actually mean? A specific number, a lifestyle, a certain net worth by a certain age? Until you define it, your mind has nothing solid to aim for. Think of your goals like a target. The sharper and more detailed the target, the better your aim. If you simply say, I want more money, then earning an extra $5 technically counts. But if you say, I want to earn $10,000 a month from my business by the end of this year, your mind has something it can sink its teeth into. You begin to attract the right strategies, resources, and even people who can help you move in that direction. Clarity allows you to filter out distractions. When you know what matters, you stop wasting energy on what doesn't. Your time, effort, and money all begin to align with your vision. You stop buying things to impress people. You start investing instead. You stop saying yes to every opportunity and start focusing on the ones that serve your mission. Every financially successful person began by getting honest with themselves. What do you truly want? Why do you want it? What does success look like in your world? How will you measure it? What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? These aren't fluffy questions. They're the foundation of dominance in the financial game. When your mind has clarity, your actions gain precision. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. You wake up with a purpose, not just a routine. You make choices that move you forward, not just keep you busy. Step two, the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect is one of the most powerful principles in both personal success and financial achievement. It states that everything happens for a reason. For every result, there is a specific cause. Success is never random. Wealth is not luck. It is the inevitable outcome of doing the right things in the right way over a sustained period of time. If you see someone thriving financially, it's not because they were blessed by fate or stumbled into a miracle. It's because they followed certain principles, made specific decisions, and took consistent action. Their current lifestyle is a result. The question is, what were the causes that produced it? This law gives you power because it means your financial situation, whether good, bad, or somewhere in between, is not permanent and it's not beyond your control. It's simply an effect, and if you trace it back, you'll find the causes. Maybe it's spending habits, lack of financial education, or fear of risk. Maybe it's consistent investing, learning, and networking. Either way, once you understand the causes, you can begin to change them. And by doing so, you will inevitably change the effect. Too often, people focus on symptoms instead of root causes. They stress about debt without examining the choices that led to it. They envy others' wealth without looking at the years of discipline, sacrifice, and risk those people endured. But success is governed by laws, not luck, and this law doesn't discriminate. It works whether you understand it or not. That's why it's crucial to become conscious of the financial causes you're setting in motion every single day. Every action has a consequence. When you save money instead of spending it, That's a cause. When you study investing, attend seminars, or hire a coach, those are causes. When you procrastinate on launching your business or delay learning about cash flow, those are causes too. Whether you're building wealth or staying stuck, it's not magic, it's math. Your current bank balance is a mirror reflecting the causes you've planted over the past months or years. If you want a different reflection, you must change what you plant. The beauty of this law is that once you take responsibility for the causes, you reclaim control over the effects. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. Your income, savings, and assets don't increase by accident. They rise as a direct consequence of clarity, discipline, learning, and action. Step 3, discipline equals freedom. Discipline is often misunderstood. People associate it with restriction, suffering, or sacrifice. But in reality, discipline is the doorway to real freedom, especially financial freedom. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about taking control. Discipline is what allows you to say no to what doesn't serve you so that you can say yes to everything that does. It's what keeps you from blowing your paycheck on things that disappear in a week and instead puts that money toward investments that pay you for a lifetime. Financial discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It means creating a budget and sticking to it even when it's inconvenient. It means setting financial goals and prioritizing them over impulse decisions. Most importantly, it means staying consistent with the small daily actions, saving, tracking expenses, delaying gratification, that compound into massive results over time. It's not flashy, but it's powerful. People often chase the illusion of freedom through indulgence. They think freedom is buying what they want, going where they want, doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But that kind of freedom, when not rooted in discipline, usually leads to chaos, debt, stress, and regret. True freedom, the kind that lasts, comes from structure. It comes from creating a life where your future is protected, your needs are covered, and your income is greater than your expenses. That kind of life doesn't happen randomly. It's built brick by brick through disciplined action. Discipline also means mastering your emotions. Money is emotional. The temptation to spend for comfort, to chase trends, or to keep up with others is real. But emotional spending is the enemy of financial growth. Discipline allows you to pause, assess, and choose based on values, not urges. It creates the habit of acting in alignment with long-term vision instead of short-term feelings. The more you practice that, the more control you gain and the more progress you make. It's also about consistency. One disciplined act won't make you wealthy, but hundreds of them over time will. Saving a percentage of every paycheck, reading for 30 minutes a day, reviewing your financials weekly, saying no to purchases you can't afford. These are simple, repeatable disciplines that over months and years stack into something extraordinary. The truth is, the people who live with the most freedom, those who travel when they want, retire early, work on their own terms, got there because they lived with the most discipline when it counted. They sacrificed early, made wise decisions, stayed focused, and didn't follow the crowd. They did the work that others avoided. And in doing so, they earned options that most people never will. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about direction. It's the ability to stay on course, to keep showing up, to do the right thing even when it's boring or hard. It's about saying, this is who I want to be, and I'm willing to do what it takes to become that person. Financial success is rarely explosive. It's the result of discipline applied day after day, long after the excitement wears off. Step 4, Invest in yourself first. Investing in yourself first is the single most valuable decision you can make on the path to financial mastery. Before you pour money into stocks, real estate, or any business venture, the most important asset you have to grow is you. Your skills, your mindset, your knowledge, your confidence, these are the foundations upon which all lasting wealth is built. When you invest in yourself, you're increasing your value in the marketplace. You're sharpening the one tool that directly affects how much you can earn, how well you can lead, how effectively you can solve problems, and how confidently you can seize opportunities when they arise. Most people are willing to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on entertainment, gadgets, or vacations, but hesitate when it comes to books, courses, mentorship, or coaching. Yet the return on personal growth compounds in ways no stock ever could. One new idea, one upgraded mindset, one improved habit can radically shift your financial trajectory. Learning how to negotiate, how to market, how to manage money, or how to lead a team, these are skills that directly influence your income and impact. And once you master them, no one can take them from you. When you build yourself, you make yourself recession-proof. Economies may crash, markets may fall, industries may change, but if you've invested in your adaptability, your thinking, your resourcefulness, and your ability to create value, you can pivot, reinvent, and thrive regardless of external circumstances. The most successful people are not necessarily the most connected or even the most naturally talented. They're simply those who consistently outlearn, outgrow, and outlast everyone else. Investing in yourself also shifts your identity. When you prioritize growth, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop playing small. You begin to expect more from yourself. You raise your standards. And when your standards rise, your results follow. You start making decisions not from your current limitations, but from your future potential. That shift in self-immune is often the breakthrough that unlocks bold action and better financial choices. There's also a ripple effect. When you invest in yourself, the people around you benefit. You become a better leader, a wiser parent, a more strategic thinker, a more resilient entrepreneur. Your growth elevates your environment, and as you improve, you begin to attract higher quality opportunities, partnerships, and conversations. People recognize growth. They're drawn to those who are committed to excellence. This kind of investment takes many forms. It could be reading every day, attending workshops, hiring a coach, going back to school, taking online courses, networking with people who challenge your thinking, journaling to increase self-awareness, practicing discipline and emotional control. None of these things show up immediately on your bank statement, but they all show up in your earning potential over time. It also requires humility. Investing in yourself means acknowledging that you don't know everything yet, that you're a work in progress. It's not a sign of weakness to seek help or mentorship. It's a sign of wisdom. Every master was once a student. Every millionaire was once broke and learning. Every leader was once unsure and absorbing knowledge like a sponge. The greatest irony is that many people are willing to risk thousands of dollars on external investments they barely understand while avoiding the internal investment that guarantees the highest return. The more you grow, the more you earn. The more you stretch, the more you're capable of. Growth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity if you're serious about dominating your financial game. Step 5, multiple streams of income. Relying on a single stream of income is one of the riskiest financial positions you can be in, yet it's how most people live. They depend on one job, one paycheck, one source, and tell themselves it's safe. But if that source disappears due to layoffs, market shifts, illness, or economic downturns, everything begins to unravel. Financial security doesn't come from how much you earn in one place. It comes from how many places your money flows from. Multiple streams of income aren't just a luxury for the wealthy, they're a necessity for anyone serious about long-term stability, growth, and wealth creation. Creating multiple streams of income is about diversifying how you earn so that you are never fully dependent on a single source. Think of it like a river feeding into a reservoir. If one stream dries up, others continue flowing. Some streams are active, requiring your time and effort, like freelance work, a business, or consulting. Others are passive, earning while you sleep, like dividends from investments, rental income, digital products, or automated businesses. The goal is to build a financial ecosystem that supports you regardless of what happens in the economy or job market. It starts with your primary income. You use that to cover your needs, but also to seed future streams. Part of your income should go toward building something that pays you back, buying assets, creating content, building skills that generate freelance or side hustle opportunities, starting small online ventures, or investing in platforms that generate returns. You take your active income and begin converting it into income-producing vehicles. Each stream doesn't have to be massive at first. Maybe one earns you an extra $200 a month, another brings in $50 in digital sales, another earns $300 in dividends. It may seem small, but over time they add up, and more importantly, they grow. What starts as a trickle can evolve into a powerful flow when nurtured consistently. With time, those streams can become a waterfall. Building these streams also forces you to think creatively and entrepreneurial. It shifts your mindset from consumer to producer. You begin asking, what value can I offer? What skills do I have that others will pay for? What content or product can I create once that continues to earn? These questions lead you to new opportunities that weren't even visible before simply because you weren't tuned into them. This approach also builds resilience. With multiple streams, you're not paralyzed by change. You're positioned to thrive in it. If one stream dips, others can rise. You can experiment, pivot, and optimize without fear because your survival doesn't depend on just one thing. It's a way to create peace of mind and financial confidence. You move from paycheck to paycheck to asset thinking. This is how real wealth is built, not by working harder and longer at one job, but by spreading your effort across several leveraged platforms. You stop thinking only in terms of hours for dollars and start focusing on systems, scalability, and long-term payoff. Whether you write a book, launch a product, invest in real estate, start a YouTube channel, or partner in a small business, each new stream becomes another pillar holding up your financial freedom. Ultimately, having multiple streams of income gives you choices. It buys back your time. It gives you leverage. It lets you walk away from toxic jobs, say yes to your passions, and support the people and causes that matter to you. The earlier you begin building them, the stronger your foundation becomes. Because income isn't just about survival, it's about empowerment. And when you have more streams, you have more power to live life on your terms. Step 6, take massive action. Taking massive action is the defining difference between people who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. You can have the best strategies, the clearest goals, and the most detailed financial plan in the world, but without relentless execution, none of it matters. Massive action means doing far more than what feels comfortable. It's not about doing just enough to feel productive. It's about doing whatever it takes to move the needle. It's about becoming so committed to your vision that hesitation and excuses have no place to survive. Most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, the right conditions, the ideal support system. They spend weeks planning and overthinking, but never start. Massive action destroys procrastination. It's the mindset that says, I may not have all the answers, but I'm moving forward anyway. Progress over perfection, speed over delay. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what builds results faster than any amount of passive learning or dreaming ever could. In the financial world, taking massive action can look like finally launching that side business you've been talking about, aggressively paying down your debts, calling potential clients, pitching your idea, setting up investment accounts, learning new high-income skills, or having difficult money conversations you've been avoiding. It means stepping out of your comfort zone again and again. It means failing forward, because real growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you stretch, when you risk, when you do. Taking massive action also requires a high level of personal responsibility. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission or tell you what to do. You stop blaming the economy, your upbringing, your boss, or your circumstances. You realize that no one is coming to rescue you. And that's empowering, because once you take full ownership of your future, you stop playing small. You start making bold moves. You make the call. You write the pitch. You put the product out there. You go to the seminar, invest in the course, wake up earlier, stay up later, and keep pushing even when it's hard. It's also about consistency. Massive action isn't a one-time burst of energy. It's a sustained mindset. It's waking up every day with an intention to win, to improve, to take steps forward. It's staying in motion even when progress feels slow, because every action compounds. Every phone call, every dollar saved, every article read, every decision made with clarity and discipline stacks on top of the last. Eventually, the weight of your actions tips the scales in your favor. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a year of focused, determined action. They dabble instead of commit. They try instead of decide. But the ones who dominate financially aren't necessarily the smartest or most connected. They're simply the ones who decided to outwork everyone else. They understood that every goal sits on the other side of uncomfortable action. They embraced it, and they kept moving. Massive action also breeds confidence. Every time you take a bold step, even if you don't get the result you want, you grow stronger. You prove to yourself that you can handle it. You gain knowledge, skill, and resilience. You develop a bias for movement, and that internal shift changes the way you approach every challenge. You stop freezing in the face of uncertainty and start moving through it with purpose. This isn't about burning yourself out. It's about showing up like your future depends on it, because it does. It's about setting higher standards for what you demand from yourself and what you're willing to do to make your financial goals real. It's choosing to play at a higher level, to execute at full capacity, and to keep stacking wins even when they're small or unseen, because when you take massive action, you don't just change your results, you change your identity. You become the kind of person who makes things happen. Now is the time to stop waiting and start building. Every great financial breakthrough begins with a moment of decision, a decision to get clear, to take control, to commit, and to act. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You need you. Fully engaged, fully committed, and fully willing to do the work. You've seen the principles: clarity, cause and effect, discipline, self-investment, multiple income streams, and massive action. These are not theories, they are tools. When applied consistently, they will transform your mindset, your habits, and your bank account. This isn't about wishful thinking or hoping things get better. It's about grabbing the steering wheel of your financial life and refusing to let go until you've built something lasting, powerful, and free. Success doesn't chase anyone, but it does respond to boldness, effort, and intention. Dominate your financial game. Not tomorrow, now. The storm isn't here to stop you. It's here to reveal you. Step into it.